All right, y'all, so we headed in the jungle. So, listen, that'll probably be the only time you ever hear me say something like that. It's from sitting at home in the comfort of my own chair saying we're headed into the jungle, because I'm not going into the jungle. But anyway, man, we about to check out some of the most crazy discoveries ever caught on camera from the jungle. Let's check it out.
When they say jungles are not for chicken-hearted people, it's not just because of dense woods. They mean this, and even this. So, tag along, because each of these encounters will warn you why to stay away from these thick, terrifying trunks. During a hike in the forested mountains of Henderson County, Kentucky in 2021, a man found an animal corpse that he initially mistook for a Zoloid squintly dog. Even though it was decomposed, he could still see some of its unique features that resembled those of the Chupacabra. It had smooth, dark skin and a slim, strong body. Its head was long, with big, pointy ears and dark, almond-shaped eyes. Its body was hunched, and flies swarmed around it.
For some people to say that Chupacabra don't exist, we see a lot of either dead or alive, similarly looking Chupacabras, bro. So I don't see how they don't exist. We see too many cases of them.
Suggesting it had not lost its life long before. Amazon forest secret. A group of campers in the Amazon rainforest spotted an unknown creature on a riverbank. It had bluish-gray skin and 4 legs like a dog. The creature had a tail and a round face with very sharp teeth. Its head and body were completely bald, without any fur or hair. Sadly, it looked injured, as if it had been hunted. When the campers poked it gently with a stick, they got a big surprise. It was still alive. The weird animal tried to crawl away, but it was too weak to move far. There's much more to explore in the Amazon, and scientists may still be missing vital pieces of its incredible biodiversity. Brazilian oddity. In 2018, the farmlands of Brazil became the stage for an incredible discovery. A group of friends, out for a casual stroll, stumbled upon a sight that made them stop in their tracks. There, lying on the ground, was a creature so strange it seemed to belong to a story. The animal had an odd mix of features. Its face looked just like a meerkat's, but its body was more like a young cow's. Bravely, the friends picked it up to take a closer look. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. It can be a new species, or maybe a hybrid of different animals. Chile encounter. In the jungles of Asen, Chile, locals stumbled upon the fresh remains of what seemed to be a prehistoric animal. Its long, slender limbs and sharp claws resembled predators from millions of years ago. The skull, with its menacing facial features, left onlookers speechless. The creature's spine was flexible, suggesting it was fast and agile, ready to spring at its prey. Its narrow ribcage showed signs of malnutrition, and its claws, still sharp, hinted at its once harmful nature. Could this be a Chupacabra from early times, or perhaps something even older, a dinosaur? What's your take on this? Panama beach creature. A woman's beach visit in Panama turned into a mystery when she spotted a bizarre creature in the sand that washed up on Playa Venao. Its skin was smooth like a fish, but it had no scales. The bottom half looked human-like, with sharp toenails. But the weirdest part was its head, so odd-looking, with a mouth.
And I've seen this clip before, but I've never said this. The way that it died with this mouth open like this looks like it died in pain. Looked like it was screaming in pain and agony. The way the mouth is positioned and the way the face looks.
Full of pointy teeth. Was it a new species? A sea monster? Or just a strange fish? The beach had given up a puzzle that no one could solve. werewolf in Brazil.
Achei lobisomem morto.
Hunters in Ceará, Brazil got the fright of their lives when they came face to face with what looked like a real werewolf. The creature they found was covered in thick, brown fur. It had a hunched back, long arms with sharp claws, and legs like an animal's.
Ave Maria, que curva feia, viu?
Its ears were pointy, and its mouth was frozen in a terrifying growl. Terrified, the hunters quickly informed the authorities, who took the body and moved it to some unknown location.
Olha o tamanho das unhas do bicho. Pensar que não existia lobisomem não, né, cara?
Otherworldly skeleton. A hunter's normal day in the forest turned into a shocking discovery. As he walked among the trees, he spotted strange bones resting on a bed of dark green leaves. The bones looked like parts of a skull, but not like any animal he knew. It had big eye holes and an odd nose part. The rest of the skeleton was even weirder. The back was curved like a hump, almost making a half circle, and the fingers, they were super long. It seemed like an alien, as its skeleton was similar to that of humans. The forest had given up a mystery that would keep scientists busy for years to come. Human snake. A family's ordinary day took a strange turn when they found an unusual creature at home. At first, it appeared to be a snake, but it was far from normal.
Wait a minute. What? Am I tripping or my eyes bad? Just had a birthday, so I'm getting a little older. My eyes might be going a little bad, but fam, that don't look like a snake to me at all. Unless we change what snakes look like and nobody told me, but that looked like something different.
The creature had a human-like face, something no one had seen before in a snake. It wasn't moving, but what stood out was the blonde hair on its head, which is extremely rare for any reptile. Even more unusual, it had hands with claws where a snake's tail should be. Its face was also covered in hair, and its wide-open eyes gave it an unsettling appearance.
Okay, now I see the bottom part, and I see the rest of the body down at the bottom. Okay, I can see that part of it, but from the top, I didn't see it at first, bro.
Tall, gray alien. Mountains hold many secrets, but none as scary as what a brave explorer found. Walking on a rocky path, he stopped when saw an odd figure. There, on the ground, lay an alien. It had a large forehead, a small mouth, and long, thin fingers. A clear liquid was visible from its closed eyes, giving it a sad appearance. The alien had only one leg, and its body was unlike anything the explorer had ever seen. It might have been a visitor from space who lost its life in the wild. Hybrid calf. In a small village in Thailand, a buffalo gave birth to a calf that left everyone scratching their heads. It looked like a mix between a buffalo and a crocodile. This weird calf had dark, scaly skin like a reptile and a long nose like an alligator. Sadly, it didn't live long after being born. But the villagers weren't sad for long. They thought this bizarre animal was a sign of good luck. It reminded them of creatures from old stories. Dragon corpse. On March 3, 2016, in the forests of Spain, forest officers made a surprising discovery during a routine patrol. Lying among the trees was the massive carcass of an unknown creature. Its body was decaying, with leathery wings, spiked ridges running down its back.
If that's not a movie prop, we're in serious trouble, fam. We not only need to worry about aliens, but we need to worry about these too.
And two large horns extending from its skull. The appearance hinted that it was a dragon. Its open eyes added to its unsettling appearance. While scientists are still investigating the find, some speculate it might have fallen from the sky. The dragon may have come through a secret portal and collided with an aircraft before crashing into the forest. Shokoi sea monster. Researchers in Mindanao were shocked when they saw a humanoid creature in their lab. It was found by a fisherman near the river. It was a tall, muscular figure with grayish skin and webbed hands. It looked exactly like Shokoy, a creature famous in Filipino culture, representing both the mystery of the sea and the importance of respecting nature. It also had a fish-like...
I thought this was already debunked, man. Stop it. I thought this was debunked. Why are they still showing this one?
Tail instead of legs. It is said to emerge from the water to interact with fishermen and coastal communities, sometimes helping them, but other times causing mischief. Alien surprise. Have you ever wondered what secrets are hidden deep in forests? A new video circulating online has sparked curiosity, showing an unusual discovery that has everyone talking. The video shows an alien abandoned in a remote forest. It was skinny as if it hadn't eaten for days and resembled the famous Mexico alien from the Roswell incident. While the exact location hasn't been shared, people wondered how it might be related to the well-known Mexican alien. Could this be proof of life beyond Earth? Bigfoot skull.
Hold on a second.
For centuries, people have talked about big, hairy creatures living in wild places all over the world. News spread that a huge, black, hairy animal was spotted in the forest in Canada. So a team of explorers decided to hunt for it. As they searched, one of them spotted a hard object in a riverbed. Carefully, he dug out a strange skull. At first, he thought it was from a bear.
Oh, it is a bear! It is definitely a bear skull!
But a closer look showed teeth more like a giant ape's. Could this be the proof they were looking for? With a mysterious hole in its head, this skull might be the key to solving the Bigfoot mystery once and for all.
Holy cow, dude. That is not a bear.
Theropod skeleton. In Pisgah National Forest, surveyors spotted a mummy near Upper Wilson Creek. It was a dinosaur unlike any other, a real T-Rex mummy. This wasn't just old bones. The dinosaur's skin, teeth, and even some organs were still there. Scientists couldn't believe their eyes. Scientists were baffled to see a 77 million years old dinosaur that was the best preserved dinosaur ever.
That's what I was about to say. What preserved that thing to the point to where it looks this good after all those years? What preserved that? Wherever it was at, did it get cold? That's the only thing I could think that would preserve something that well.
Found. It's not just a fossil. It's a time machine that lets us see dinosaurs like never before. Real mandrake. A hiker's walk in the woods turned magical when he found a humanoid plant. It was a real-life mandrake poking out of the ground. He pulled it up for a closer look. This wasn't your average plant. It looked like a tiny person with arms and legs made of roots. Its skin was rough like tree bark, and its head was shaped like a plant bulb. The creepiest part? It had eyes that seemed to stare and a mouth full of teeth. The hiker couldn't resist and took it home for lunch. Ark of the Covenant. Workers in Jerusalem were in for a big surprise during a normal day of digging. In a public park, they found a wooden chest. This wasn't just any old box. It looked just like the famous Ark of the Covenant from ancient stories. The Ark is important in the Hebrew Bible. It held the 10 Commandments and was made by the Israelites in the desert. No one had seen it for 2,600 years. Could this muddy treasure be the real deal? Only time and investigation will tell. Chupacabra in Oregon.
The Chupacabra in Oregon.
In Oregon, a man went to his rooftop to fix the electricity when he noticed an odd smell in the air. As he searched for the source, he stumbled upon a carcass lying on the wooden paneling. To his shock, it was a chupacabra. With sharp teeth and thin limbs, its almost hairless brownish-gray skin was tightly stretched over its bones. It might have come to eat his chickens, and after finding nothing, it ended up there. The real question is how it came to his rooftop.
Balls and meat are still there.
Venezuela forest discovery. In the jungles of Venezuela, forest workers made a scary discovery. Hidden among the trees was a creature straight out of a scary story. The workers found a weird animal body. It had no hair and looked super skinny. Its skin was smooth, grayish-brown, and leathery in texture. The creature's skinny legs ended in sharp claws. But what frightened the workers most was its face. The mouth was wide open, revealing sharp, pointy teeth. Based on its appearance, some people whispered it might be the legendary Chupacabra Jaren. In the forests of Shenongjia, Hubei, a group of friends went on an exciting adventure. They were hoping to spot the Jaren, a mysterious creature like Bigfoot that many say lives in these woods. As they hiked, they saw a huge, hairy figure. It had a big body and a face almost like an ape. The friends couldn't believe their eyes. Slowly, they crept closer for a better look. They realized that it was just a statue. Even though it wasn't real, the Jaren statue reminded them of all the cool stories about this legendary beast. It made their forest trip even more fun.
So they just gonna leave it there like that? Ain't nobody gonna remove it or try to preserve it or something like that?
Goblin Skeleton. Buried in old ruins, researchers uncovered a small skeleton that left everyone speechless. It had a hunched back and a round head with big eyes. Its face appeared twisted and mean. The creature had large ears that resembled bat wings with rough edges sticking out from its head. The creature's hands and feet were very unusual. It had long, bony fingers and toes with sharp claws. All these features hinted that it was a goblin. Was it mummified by ancient people as evidence of their presence for us? Well, no doubt about that anymore. Chupacabra in sewer. Two friends were exploring when they decided to peek into a dark, smelly sewer. What they saw made them freeze in shock. Lying in the empty drain was a black, lifeless body that looked just like the famous Chupacabra, a creature that's said to sneak around at night. Its shape was odd, with sharp features that made it stand out. The friends used a long stick to poke it, but it didn't move at all. How it ended up there remained a mystery. Mexican alien. An old video from 2007 is making the rounds again, showing a bizarre discovery in Metepec, Mexico. On a small farm, scientists uncovered what looked like an alien skeleton. The creature had a strange bone structure that left experts scratching their heads. But when they studied it more closely, they found something even more puzzling. It had traces of human DNA mixed in its cells. Some believed this was proof that aliens had visited Earth, while others thought it could be a new species of monkey. Crocodile fossil. After a powerful storm ripped through Australia, the Earth revealed an astonishing find, a 50-foot fossilized crocodile. Its massive jaws, filled with razor-sharp teeth, were enough to make anyone shudder. This prehistoric beast, much larger than today's crocodiles, was a true terror of its time. Scientists estimate this ancient predator could easily have swallowed a great white shark whole. With its thick armored body,
Whoa. Scared. I can't even get it out, bro. It's just throwing me for a loop so bad. Swallowed a great white whole? That's different, fam. Yeah. Certain things I'm glad are gone and no longer here and extinct. That is one of them, bro. Crazy.
And powerful limbs, it ruled the waters millions of years ago. Some creatures from the past were even more terrifying than fiction. After Cyclone Yas hit Darbhanga, Bihar, India, locals were shocked when an unusual creature appeared. Its face resembled a human's, but its body was rigid, and its skin lacked hair. With 4 legs, clawed feet, and a tail similar to that of a crocodile, the creature sparked wild debates. Some people believed it was a spy from another planet, while others thought it could be a government experiment as a silicon artwork. Even NASA was amazed by the find. Odd bat. In 2013, a family handed over an unusual creature to researchers. It had a humanoid shape, but its wings made it even more bizarre. Standing upright with 2 sets of wings, the top pair resembled those of a bat, while the lower pair gave it an almost supernatural appearance. Despite its mythological appearance, initial analyses revealed that it had tissues made up of cells and a cardiovascular system, and breathed oxygen like any living being. It could be a genetically modified bat, created illegally in a secret lab. Sponge-like creature. On July 9, 2018, beachgoers in China spotted an unidentified object floating near the shore. When a man picked it up, he was shocked. It started to move. The object had parts that looked like little feet, making it seem almost alive. People at the beach came up with different ideas about its identity. Some thought it was a mutated sea sponge, while others guessed it might be a new kind of starfish. A few even joked it looked like the gingerbread man from stories. Plum Island secret. A 1959 video has resurfaced, showing a strange creature that washed up on Plum Island Beach. The creature looked like nothing anyone had ever seen before. It had a big, puffy body with no hair, and its nose looked like a bird's beak. Some folks thought it might be a monster from the nearby remote area. Others whispered about aliens. Scientists might have uncovered its identity, but the technology at the time wasn't advanced enough to confirm anything. Unknown carcass. What if the creatures from your wildest dreams were real? In the woods of Mexico, a group of people made a strange discovery. They found a skeleton that looked very different from anything they had ever seen before. The skeleton had long, thin fingers that seemed odd, and its spine was also shaped weirdly. These unusual features made the creature look like it came from another world. Could it be a new species that no one knew existed? Or is it something so bizarre that it might change what we think we know about life on Earth? Unicorn skull. A gardener's shovel hit a hard object in the soil. As he dug, he uncovered a magical surprise, a skull with a long, twisty horn. The skull looked super old, maybe even 60,000 years old. But the weirdest part was an arrowhead sticking out from its forehead. It appeared to be from a herbivorous creature and resembled a unicorn. How long had it been buried there? The smooth skull and spiral horn didn't match any animal we know today. Could this be proof that unicorns once roamed the earth? Giant snakeskin. In Westbrook, Maine, a local citizen found evidence of an ancient creature near the Presumpscot River. There, lying on the ground, was a massive, molted skin, measuring 12 feet long. The size and shape led many to believe it belonged to a giant anaconda. The discovery has fueled speculation that a large snake might be hiding nearby, earning the nickname Wessie after the famous Loch Ness Monster. The idea of such a creature roaming the forests has locals on edge. Could Wessie be more than just...
They keep talking about the anaconda population getting out of control, and now we're seeing more and more of these skin sheddings all over the place, bro. I don't know what's happening right now. They talked about it down in Florida, like it's getting crazy out there. So you know it's gonna spread up to the rest of us. So we need to start getting prepared, man, or figure out how to way to slow down this population from growing.
A snake? Some wonder if the Loch Ness monsters have moved from the waters to rule the forests. Mummified crocodiles. In Egypt's Kubat al-Hawa, near the Nile River, archaeologists uncovered an amazing find. While excavating, they found scaly bodies buried in the soil. Instead of human remains, they found the mummified bodies of ancient crocodiles. As they carefully brushed away the sand, they revealed not just one, but many of these ancient reptiles. These reptiles were buried in a small tomb and date back over 2,000 years. Unlike human mummies, these crocodiles were preserved without the use of resin, which amazed the archaeologists. Snake jewelry. Visitors at an archaeological site were surprised when they found an ancient cloth bag with an unexpected treasure inside. As they opened the bag, they discovered the skeleton of a person, their skull wrapped in fabric. But the most interesting part was the jewelry. The skeleton wore a necklace with 2 snake designs and a bracelet featuring a snake with a blue gem. In ancient Egypt, snakes were often symbols of royalty. Some believed the person might have been an important figure. After a brief look, they closed the bag, leaving the mystery of the ancient jewelry unsolved. Mammoth carcass.
Then coming around the front, we're going up the foot and in to the lower arm.
A group of paleobiologists received a woolly mammoth for study, which surprised them. But this wasn't just any mammoth. It was one of the best preserved ever found. The scientists nicknamed her Buttercup. They used special tests to find out how old.
How you give a woolly mammoth, this big, beastie, just feared animal, a name like Buttercup, something soft and like, we gotta stop letting certain people name these or give these animals nicknames, bro. We gotta stop. It bothers me. I'm sorry.
Old she was, and the results show that Buttercup lived about 40,000 years ago.
This is actually the toe of a mammoth.
And was in its mid-50s when it lost its life. That's pretty old for a mammoth. Here's the funny part. Even though we think of mammoths as huge, Buttercup wasn't much bigger than an Asian elephant today.
So the elbow is then joined up with the upper arm bone, the humerus, the funny bone, if you like.
Nazca mummies. In 2017, archaeologists found mummies in Nazca, but these were different from usual ones. These creatures had 3 fingers and were curled up like babies in fetal position. A conference of scientists was arranged to use special X-ray machines called CT scanners to look inside the mummies without unwrapping them. This way, they could learn more about where these strange beings came from. One of the mummies looked older than the others. Maybe the aliens ruled the Earth in ancient times, or were regular visitors, and now we only have the evidence as mummies. China's Jurassic Giant. Imagine digging in the ground and finding a giant dinosaur. In 2015, scientists in Yunnan Province, China, made an incredible discovery. They found fossils of a huge dinosaur that lived millions of years ago during the Jurassic period. The dinosaur was named Lufengosaurus magnus huene and was over 5 meters long, about the size of a big car. But when scientists put all the pieces together, they think it might have been about 9 meters. The fossil had parts like 3 hip bones, 13 backbones, 22 tailbones, and even complete back legs. Isn't it exciting that such massive dinosaurs walked around millions of years ago? Dinosaur skeleton. A normal day at work in February 2021 led to an incredible discovery. While clearing a lagoon, the Rutland Water Conservation Team leader noticed a strange object in the mud. Amazingly, he discovered a massive dinosaur skeleton. Not just any dinosaur, it existed about 180 million years ago from the early Jurassic period. It's difficult to believe that it was so old. The discovery of such an ancient and complete dinosaur skeleton thrilled scientists. Sometimes, the most incredible discoveries happen when you least expect them. Mammoth from soy fields. In the most unexpected places, secrets from the past can come to life. A farmer in Michigan found a huge skeleton while working in his soy fields. It was a woolly mammoth. Experts rushed to the farm and confirmed it was real. Not just bones, but almost the whole mammoth that expired at the age of about 40 years was lying underground 15,000 years ago. Scientists think this mammoth might have been hunted by Neolithic peoples. Who knew a simple day of farming could uncover such an incredible piece of history? Incident mystery. A family of farmers found a hard object stuck in the soil while digging for peat in a remote bog. Upon further digging, they uncovered the body of a man with a cap and leather belt. Shockingly, there was a noose around his neck. They referred the case to archaeologists. The body was sent to the National Museum of Denmark, where experts confirmed the man had been there for over 2,400 years. The bog's cold, acidic conditions had preserved his remains remarkably well, making him a bog body, a natural mummy. Cyclops skull. In the Midwest, farmhands discovered a huge skull with a single, large cavity right in the middle of its forehead. It resembled the legendary Cyclops, the one-eyed giant from ancient Greek myths. The ancient Greeks often found fossils like these and believed they came from monstrous creatures. Though the skull looked human-like, it was much larger and stranger. Some scientists believe it might belong to ancient elephants, whose large nasal cavities could be mistaken for an eye socket. But there is a chance that these giant, one-eyed creatures once roamed the earth. Tank in mud. In Poland's Water River lies a hidden treasure from world.
Now, if I find a tank, bro, I'm trying to take that home. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I'm trying to take that home, bro. That's gotta be one of the coolest finds to ever find out in the jungle somewhere like that.
War II. Using special sonar technology, researchers discovered a perfectly preserved British Valentine tank buried in the riverbed. This tank dates back to the intense final months of fighting on the Eastern Front during World War II. Its story is quite fascinating. Originally made in Britain, it was later sent to the Soviet Red Army. In 1945, during combat, the tank was hit by enemy fire and sank into the river. Remarkably, being submerged in mud helped protect it from rusting away over the years, and is currently undergoing preservation and study. German bayonet knives. In 2019, 2 hunters in Ukraine came across a significant piece of history while out in the woods. Instead of finding rabbits, they stumbled upon a pile of discarded belongings, possibly left after someone cleared out an old home near the forest. Among the items were 2 suitcases. One of these contained a collection of German bayonet knives from the Third Reich. Despite being left in the forest, the knives were in near perfect condition, with only a small amount of moisture and mold on the metal. It is likely that these artifacts once belonged to a collector whose valuable items were unknowingly discarded. Humanoid carcass.
I don't know, but if you do...
A lady decided to explore a remote beach, but her day turned spooky. There, partially hidden under a piece of driftwood, lay a bizarre creature, unlike anything she had ever seen. At first glance, it looked almost human, with arms and legs similar to ours. But as she got closer, they realized this was no ordinary find.
Text me.
The creature's skin had a strange, unnatural texture, and she also spotted what seemed to be a shoulder blade. This was no regular beach animal. It might be a hidden sea animal that washed ashore.
Like a shoulder blade kind of thing.
Triceratops is back. A video has gone viral on the internet showing a
This one has been debunked too. Stop it to my video. This has been debunked.
Triceratops dinosaur found in Indonesia. It shows authorities unloading a live Triceratops from a van that they discovered while cutting down the rainforest. They used ropes to direct it, but it was wild and tried to escape the ropes and flee the scene. However, the workers managed to hold on to it. Some people claim that it was a replica operated by humans, a suit worn by 2 or 3 people. It was brought to the park to promote a new ride in Mojosemi Forest Park, while others remained convinced that it was a real dinosaur. It's time for today's open discussion. A video captured along the Kerala-Karnataka border on November 30th has gone viral on social media. It shows a strange creature that looked somewhat like a pig, having a similar snout. It was seen aggressively attacking other animals and even humans. It was kept in a cage where it continuously tried to break free using its hands and teeth, showing clear signs of distress.
Look like another thing that could have possibly or potentially been created in a lab. That's all I'm saying.
The unusual behavior and appearance of the animal have caused concern in the border areas. Some people speculated that it could be a diseased sun bear, a species native to Borneo, Malaysia, while others claimed it was a beast that might have come out to hunt cattle and other animals.